everybody! It's been quite a while since I've done an update or a video. I have kind of been on vacation and I've also had a lot of other work to do, so I haven't really been able to make some videos in the past couple weeks, so I'm really sorry about that. I do have a few videos of some gardens I visited while on my little vacation, and I hope to get those up soon. But for today, I thought I would just make a quick little vegetable garden update and maybe a couple little other things, because I wanted to update you to see what is going on. So I think we will just start with the north garden. And it's been doing really well, and we've also harvested and cleaned up quite a bit. So let's start on this side. The seed onions we need to collect seeds from. They did really well. The watermelon is doing great. This one is our biggest one, but they're looking really nice. Just here's my hand for an example of size. Yeah, so we're excited to eat those really soon. And I think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 7. In here was where the melons were, and then anthracnose. I think that was right. Yes, anthracnose really gave it a beating. It looks terrible, and well, actually it's pretty much all dead and gone. And then the pumpkins, the vines have all died back because they got powdery mildew, but the pumpkins look really good. And I just noticed that there is a squash bug here, so a few of them, so we'll either have to pick the pumpkins and set them somewhere else and clean up so that the squash bugs don't make little holes or anything in them, but they're looking really nice. And I think we have 8. And then here's the sweet fall squash. The sweet dumplings on the fence are doing really well, but they are dying off. The mini pumpkins are doing all right still. These ones are a little more green. We harvested the shallots. The ground cherries are still doing really well and producing fairly heavily. So if you've never eaten a ground cherry, they come in these little paper husks, and then you just can pop them out and eat them. So they kind of look like tomatillos in the paper husks, but these taste sweet. So that's what's going on there. In this bed, we harvested, if you remember, all the carrots. There's still some seed lettuce. Harvested onions. They're gone. The beans I'm letting dry on the plants. There are some to pick. And we'll use them as dry beans to eat as well as seed for next year because we really love this purple pole bean. And then back here was the corn, which we harvested, canned, and tore everything up. So what's left are the mini pumpkins. Next, this is the salsify, and it's doing really well. It'll stay in the ground for a little bit longer. Rutabaga was done. Purple kale, still looking really. And we're gonna just leave it. It does have a little bit of caterpillar damage. And then these are the Kentucky Wonder beans, and they've been doing fantastic. This is our second sowing of beans. And then I planted some more Canter sugar snap peas, and the rainbow chard is still doing fabulous. And then over there is a late harvest of corn, and then you can obviously see our tomatoes. Our tomatoes got a late season blight, so the plants don't look great, but the harvest is really good. Ours are doing really well as well. I've made some sweet chili sauce, which is kind of hot and sweet at the same time, and canned that. And I also hope to make a hot sauce. Out of the tomatoes, we have made ketchup, tomato sauce, and salsa. And I think we're going to make some more tomato sauce of what's left. And then the basil is going to seed, but I'm going to try to get maybe a few servings of basil pesto out of that. Here is the late sowing of carrots. This is the lettuce I planted and the kohlrabi, and obviously the lettuce over here did not come up, but that's okay. I'm gonna plant some more later. Just kind of weeding the wildflower bed. Here is the south bed. The cabbage and cauliflower that we planted did not take. Either snails ate it or well, slugs. We don't have snails so much here. Slugs ate it, or cabbage moths, caterpillars got on it and ate them up, but that's part of life. Marigolds are doing nicely. The zucchini are doing nicely. I do have a few on and they need to be picked. And then the chard from earlier is doing nice. Obviously we need to weed. This right here is the sweet potato straw bale, and then the tower, and they're doing fantastic. Squash is doing quite nice. And then let's see if I can find a butternut. Yep. Right in there is a butternut. And then all of that is sweet potatoes. We still have some beets down on this end of the bed. And then this was our first our sowing of beans, and we're just letting it go to seed a bit. And the second sowing of beans is there. Amish paste tomatoes are looking great. We use this one mostly for our tomato sauce. And then here are the pumpkin and the stick that we grew for the first time this year. Still doesn't look like the picture, but like on the picture it's supposed to be like a long stick, and these are kind of short. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out, but there's quite a lot there. I guess this is actually an eggplant, so. Potatoes are almost all dug except for right in here. And most of them didn't have the grass running through it, so that's too bad. And then here I did a second sowing of rutabaga and beets and radish. I need to get it weeded out in there. And I did spring onions on the right here, but they didn't come up, so. And finally, I want to show you what we've been doing with the perennial fruit garden, or soft fruit garden. Our raspberries were getting a little unruly, so we dug them up, and half of them we potted up for a plant sale our club does in the spring, and then we built this little trellis. It's not finished, but I transplanted the raspberries between. So the idea is you have a post, and then you put 2 things of wood there, and then you set cattle fencing on top of it. And so you have 2 layers of that, and then the raspberries grow through it and are supported by themselves instead of having to go in and tie them in all the time. So we're gonna try that out. And finally, I want to show you this giant sunflower. It's starting to tip because the seeds are on it, but it is really tall. I don't know if you can really tell, but I am like 5'10", 5'10", and it is quite a bit taller than me. I need to get the measuring tape to see how tall it actually is. And it's tipping, so it would be another 2 feet, I think. But I want to show you that. That was really fun. It's cool to grow these big things. Anyway, if you liked this quick episode, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my page to see more updates and what I'm up to. So I'll see you next time. Bye.